Scott McTominay talks edging closer. We talked this morning regarding a rejected loan bid from Napoli. More developments on that as well. Emergency loan, left back or free agent. ALONSO, yes, talks about him are back on the scene as well. UGARTE well and truly pushing through this move to Manchester United. Updates on De Jong, updates on Fofana, updates on Sancho as well. Plenty to get through again on this lunchtime show, guys. Keeping you up to date with everything going on with your beloved Manchester United. I'm Adam. This is Forever United TV. Make sure you please do stay up to date by subscribing. Only 50% of you watched over the last few days have actually been subscribers, so click that subscribe button and hit that bell notification button as well. Give me another 1,000 likes on the video, guys. I don't think I'm asking for much. I can't believe I'm saying that now and getting 1,000 likes. That's because you guys are loving the content. I love giving it to you. Let's get into what is actually going on right now with Manchester United. We talked this morning as well regarding the situation with Jadon Sancho. Fabrizio Romano's come out and backed up what we said in terms of the personal terms and what's going on with Sancho there. I'll update you on that and what he said as well in this live video as well. And please get your live comments in, guys. Let's get the ball rolling. Please get your comments in. If you're playing catch up, maybe this isn't your lunch break right now and you're having to just play a little bit of catch up with a later lunch, get your comments in on YouTube as well. We'll try and get back to as many of them as we can this afternoon, as we always do try to. And yeah, in we go with what's actually happening. We had a busy morning talking about Sancho, talking about UGARTE and other things that were going on there. Scott McTominay was mentioned in that as a bid that was rejected for a loan from Napoli. Now, developments with Napoli are this. Their sporting director, Giovanni Manna, is in England, and it's been reported by Corriere dello Sport from Italy and their and their publication over there that he will be here and will be talking about Scott McTominay. Now, why all of a sudden do you go from a loan to discussing Scott McTominay more? Well, I'm guessing he's not just here for Scott McTominay, because if you were or did have your ear to the ground and were listening regarding other transfer news within the Premier League, you would know that Chelsea are having a little bit of a, to say the least, whirlwind of a transfer window. What the hell is going on there? Like, honestly, thank God that everything looks well at Manchester United, but Chelsea's situation, whoa. What? I don't know. The to-ing and throwing and the marrying up with Felix to Gallagher and everything else that's going on, let them deal with it over there. But I'm sure that he is in town. There is also another deal with Chelsea on the line of Romelu Lukaku is, believe it or not, still a Chelsea player, agreeing to terms with Napoli and going to the Italian Giants. They are also discussing the possibility of taking Victor Osimhen. So Osimhen to Chelsea, his buyout clause is 100 million. Now, obviously, some of the Lukaku fee will be offset in that, but Chelsea, again, trying to make things happen. Are we bothered about that? Some people get wound up about how Chelsea can spend so much money in the transfer market. I look at this as a bit of a positive in the situation right now. If Napoli are in for Scott McTominay, all of a sudden, Napoli are quite rich because they are going to sell Victor Osimhen. So, from a loan rejected like Damasio spoke about this morning for Scott McTominay, Napoli still showing keen interest. So, conversations regarding Scott will go on over the next couple of days with the sporting director from Napoli in town as well. So, we are now looking at the possibility of United discussing the move to Italy for Scott McTominay. Whether or not Scott is open to that, he has always said he is open to the right move if United agree a fee. We know this from previous videos over the last month. Whether Italy is on his map of places and destinations he wants to go and live and play his trade in, probably for a good chunk of the rest of his career, 27, it's 3 years in Italy. Maybe he comes back to England to finish up, but like the highlight and sort of not twilight really, no, I'm saying the wrong word there, sort of like he's at his peak of his powers, maybe it is Syria, his destination that he wants to go. But hey, that is the deal with Scott McTominay. Fabrizio Romano has also come out on this and said, look, Manchester United have made it abundantly clear, like it says at the bottom of your screen right there, it would be impossible for Scott McTominay to be loaned out this season. So, this pre-season. If anybody wants Scott McTominay, they're going to have to get the Benjamins out and they're going to have to pay for him. We know that Fulham are around about 23 million right now. Does Napoli getting this money from Victor Osimhen and that deal with the swap on Lukaku and so on and so forth play into United's hands? I would say yes, it does, because a club with money is definitely going to come in and take Manchester United's offer, because I don't think United are being too greedy for Scott McTominay. A 10 goals a season midfielder is definitely an option for an Italian club who is good in the air defensively, arrives late. You know what Scott's about. I don't even need to describe what Scott McTominay is all about. We've seen him this season and we know everything that's happened. It will be the second part of McFred done and Scott leaving the football club. We know United are pushing this move on now. And we know that we need to get this done if we want to move forward with our other targets, i.e. the 2 midfielders, maybe a forward, and maybe even a left back, which we'll get onto in a minute. But still, Scott McTominay now situation, like we have got plenty of takers for Scott. We rolled off the list yesterday. What was it? Brentford, Everton, West Ham, Fulham, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray. And now we've got Napoli on top of that. Yeah, so about seven different teams all playing for Scott McTominay, fighting for his signature. That alone is confidence enough to actually get a deal out of something. And I feel like Manchester United will get the Scott McTominay deal done. And I think it will be put straight back in to what we've discussed already, which I think is Manuel UGARTE. But before we get on to UGARTE, I want to move on to the topic of emergency left-back, because on last night's show, we talked about the news of Luke Shaw being out again until late September at the earliest. So, calf injury for Luke Shaw. It broke last night and everyone was talking about it. It got completely overshadowed with the signings of Mazraoui and Matthias de Ligt, as did a lot of the other news going on. But it now looks like Manchester United, and this has come from several sources as well, and we have mentioned this guy's name quite a bit actually on different shows, that Marcos Alonso, being a free agent after leaving Barcelona, is now a realistic option for Manchester United. I think Rich Fay came out from the MEN this morning and said Manchester United will look to free agent and loan options for left-back cover. We have already turned away Mario Hermoso. That deal is off. Whether or not we will revisit it, I don't know. I thought that made sense, but like I said, I don't know much about Hermoso. I don't know. Maybe they think that they can get Marcos Alonso on better wages and they can save money that way. All of these minor gains from Ineos, you know what they're like. A couple of $100,000 a month saved is going into the bigger savings in their eyes over the whole space of a season. So Marcos Alonso, free agent, wouldn't cost United anything and would just be used as cover at left back. Obviously, we're expecting we're expecting Luke Shaw to come back at some point. We're expecting Malacia to come back at some point. We have Mazraoui, we have Diogo Dalot as well as cover. One more on top of that. I think that is it's really, for United, I feel, just making sure that all areas are covered. I feel like Manchester United will be looking at not just Alonso. I think they'll be looking at a few different options. The story is, really, that Manchester United are lacking in that area because of the injury concerns of 2 key players. Like, I'm confident that Malacia will come back after the issues that he had with his operation. Luke Shaw, like I said last night, I've given up on. The biggest story is Luke Shaw. It's not so much the players that we're looking at, it's the players that really are letting United down. Whether it is their fault or not, injury records and injuries are playing a big part in Manchester United last season, and we don't want it to be happening again this season. So having ample cover is definitely something there. Like, the story is real, the story is genuine. United will be on the lookout for a left back, but it won't be anything that's going to cost the club any money. Whether it is Alonso, whether it's another one, you've got obviously Alonso, you've got Hermoso, 2 players that play at left back there as free agents from Serie A. There are 2 options there. There will be other options. You've got Harry Amass coming through the ranks as well. Whether or not Ten Hag trusts him, it doesn't seem like he does, because he didn't play him or even put him on the bench in the Community Shield after having him all pre-season. So strange one there, even though he is now a first team squad member. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what develops with the left-back situation. And there are plenty of options all over the place. But the big story is that United have been forced into even looking because of the Luke Shaw situation. I said last night, look, if you're being realistic, if you're Manchester United, you've got to look at Luke Shaw and go, Luke Shaw is a problem. Luke Shaw, you cannot rely on this man anymore. You can't rely on him to be part of Manchester United's first team squad or play any significant amount of games anymore, or anything consistently that you can actually build a system around. So it's time to move on. And time to actually go for a different option, I feel. Whether or not Ten Hag will trust in, whether or not he'll trust in Harry Amass, I do not know. I just look at it and I go, not right now. Not right now, I don't think. Just going off the Community Shield and the opportunity he had, I think Manchester United will definitely look elsewhere. And we're not afraid, and we're not scared of doing the loan option. I think probably if you're looking at the free agents that are out there right now, United not fully convinced on any of them. Would they like a loan option with the option to send that player back after a year? I would say they would prefer that rather than buying a free agent who's going to be at the club and want probably a 2 or 3 year minimum contract. So that's how I see it. I can see people in the chat, and I will come to the chat next, shouting out Kadoglu and him being the best option. It's going to cost United too much money. People saying there, like Kirkes from Bournemouth, they want money for him as well. There's no options for loans for either one of them players. Manchester United's money is tied up in what we need the most, which is midfield right now. We're going to move on to that in a minute. But first of all, with the Scott McTominay and the left-back situation, let's get into the chat and see what you guys are saying. Rochelle straight in, Burger King, Luke Shaw. Straight in with a brutal one there. We have enough deadwood without bringing in Alonso, says James. This is the concern with a lot of fans. It's like bringing in another old-school player who is going to be earning a wage for a few years, when really, like I just said, you've got to look at the loan option being better, do you not? I think so. I do think that is the better option for Manchester United when you look at everything. They can get rid of him next year and then maybe have Malacia fit, Amass a year on, and then spend what money we've got on a significant signing next summer. It's annoying that we've got the likes of Kadoglu waiting around who we could get, but we just haven't got the money for him. We'll probably miss out on that player because he will end up going somewhere like Brighton. So we're going to have to just see what happens with United and what we can sell more importantly. And that's the question I want to bring in. Like Scott McTominay, if we get that money in, do we just plough it straight back into midfield? Would you prefer getting the cheaper option of Amrabat and then getting a left back for more money? All of these questions come about. We have just under 300 likes, but nearly 400 people nearly 1,400 people in the room, guys. That does not equate. That should at least be at 500 likes. Please give the video a like. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well, as many of you have already today. I think some near 200 of you have already subscribed just today alone. It has been a crazy few days, and I thank you again for your support. We should throw in a mass with Fulham. I mean, it's Fulham. They shouldn't have more than 30% possession. Fulham are actually a decent technical side. I mean, I'm not counting Fulham out. We'll be doing more of the match day stuff closer we get to Friday, and I think I'll be saying in that look, I expect United to win, but I don't think this is going to be an easy game for United. I think Fulham are well positioned and are in decent shape with what they've bought and what they've got at that club already, and they caused us massive problems last season. A lucky win at their place, and then they beat us comfortably at our place. They have our number. We were lucky the season before with Ten Hag as well that Mitrovic had his meltdown and Willian decided to handball on the line. Otherwise, United wouldn't have been in that final with Manchester City because Fulham were going to beat us. We were dead on our feet in that game. So, not an easy game at all. I'm 67, says Cornish Maid, and I'll play left back for 20 grand a week. It's 67 years of experience you're paying for. I like it. Bigging yourself up there, Cornish. I know what you mean, though. Shaw is just like Martial. We need to cancel his contract. He's finished, I think. I feel for him. When people say Alonso, I think Xabi. A lot of the time, guess. Honestly, I've had to stop myself from saying Xabi Alonso so many times instead of Marcus Alonso on this stream alone, but I know what you mean by that. Alonso should be nowhere near this club. Agree, but their cherry Paulinho is no long gone. But they have just bought in Smith Rowe as well, so they have brought another bit of quality there, and still going to make it very difficult for Manchester United. Why can't United get Alexandro from Juventus? He is a free agent. We'll be looking at everything, like I said. Look, it might not be Alonso, but it'll be something in the loan or the free agent market that United go for. 100% that's where United are aiming. They're not looking to spend money. We talked about Reguilon before. I would prefer Reguilon back. I don't know if we'd be able to get another loan for him. He would jump at the opportunity. I don't even think we've got the 10 million. As minimal as that sounds, I don't think Manchester United have that 10 million available to buy Reguilon outright. I don't think they want to, though. I think Manchester United have bigger plans for left-back, and I think they come next summer, which is why I feel that United will pursue the loan market for a left-back over the actual free agent market. I don't think they want another player in. Help is good, squad depth is good, but in the loan variety. And United, I think, just want the option to say no at the end of the year like we did with Amrabat. And that looks now like a good decision, because the midfield section, like we said now, with everything going on with Scott and Manchester United looking to bring UGARTE in, possibly Sander Berge, I think everybody would have preferred them to over Amrabat. So really, the option to send Amrabat back and not buy him really looks like it's paid off for Manchester United. Chris P. Hackett says Kudoglu is on his way to Brighton for 33 million, according to Turkish press last night. Yeah, I covered that as well. I've been watching it closely with Kudoglu. United very interested, but they just don't have enough money right now with everything else going on. And Brighton have seized the opportunity. Kudoglu had his eyes set on the Premier League. He's coming no matter what this summer. It's just who got him. It looks like Brighton are going to steal the march on that one, unfortunately for us. But hey, look, there are bigger issues at hand at Manchester United, and we are trying to deal with them first. Romano confirming Bruno new contract signing today. Bruno, our captain, says Nick. So we'll find out today how much Bruno is actually on. And that debate will rumble on, I'm sure. And will be a definite conversation splitter. That'll be a 50-50 fan base debate, that one, I think, with Bruno Fernandes. As it has been just with the news of the new deal itself. But hey, 1,500 in the room for lunchtime. Thank you, guys. Amazing. Keep it coming in. Keep sharing the video as well as liking the video. We are at 400 likes, so we're going to get over that 500 live easily. I did say we wanted 1,000, which I'm pretty certain after the video goes out we will get, guys. But we did have a record-breaking show this morning, and I just want to thank you all again. Well, we've got a bit of chance and less madness going on because it was mental this morning. Massive thanks again, guys. UGARTE will be signed for around £35 million plus add-ons. Seems a good deal, says Prashant. I'm not sure. I don't know where you've heard that from, mate. But it is no way near finalised yet in terms of the fee. There is progress on that one. I'll talk about UGARTE next, actually, because Romano has come out and said, look, UGARTE is in love with Manchester United. He loves the Reds. That's what UGARTE's thoughts are. And he is actively pushing the move on now. We talked last night about the Uruguayan stories coming out from their side of things and their media about UGARTE and people representing UGARTE saying that this deal is now very close. We talked this morning with the reports coming from England that Sancho and UGARTE split them. Two separate deals completely. They're not going to interfere with each other at all. So UGARTE won't affect what's happening with Jadon Sancho. It will build good relations. That's about it. But still, when you look at it, with Sancho being so far away, PSG still driving their bargain with Manuel UGARTE. They feel like they could probably say we're going to go for Sancho, sell UGARTE, and then not go for Sancho after United have spent the money on UGARTE. We could really have our pants pulled down a bit with Jadon Sancho while trying to get UGARTE. So I think United need to be aware of all of this. and all these moving parts coming in, because Sancho, where it was, I think it was Jack Talbot who said this morning, Manchester United's Jadon Sancho is willing to fight for his place. There's no place there for him. He's not going to like it because he's not first team. He's not a first pick, sorry. He is first team. I keep saying that all the time, but first team squad, yes. First pick, no, definitely not. He don't get near the starting lineup. He's fighting alongside Rashford. For one, he's never going to get in front of. And if Ten Hag even thinks about dropping Garnacho, then there'll be absolute uproar. He's not going to, by the way. Garnacho is everything about Manchester United right now, and a massive positive. So Ten Hag is never going to drop Garnacho for Jadon Sancho. And Sancho needs to realise this. It's all right coming out and saying you want to fight for your place in the team, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But we have a poll up now, guys. Get voting in the poll as well. 600 of you have done that already. Let's get that over 1,000, please, guys. And the poll is, who will be United's next incoming player? Alonso, Berger, Ugarte, Amrabat. I'm not surprised Ugarte is top of that list. But then again, it could be someone completely not on that list as a free agent or a loan, like we've said. Free agents are easy and quick to negotiate. I feel like Ugarte is the next signing because of the reasons I said. United will push themselves into negotiating a loan deal for a left-back rather than the free agent, because it works better for us to send him back. I think it takes longer to then secure a loan deal because you have to agree with the player and the club. And obviously, as a free agent and then players, it's easier just negotiating with the player. But you know you only got them for a year and you can then just send them back if they haven't worked out. And that's always best when you're looking for cover players. And it's when you look at it, and I looked at it, I thought, I'm surprised he didn't go. But then I'm thinking, United actually might want to buy someone better next summer and therefore not have a free agent sign this summer who's on a contract in the way of that signing. So why spend money on wages for 3 years when you can spend money on wages for one, knowing that you can then send that player back and bring another one in next summer? It makes complete sense when you break it down. And I think that's where Manchester United are at right now. And I think it will be a loan for someone. I would not be surprised if they approached Tottenham again for Reguilon. I would love it as well because I like Reguilon. I think he's great cover for United. It wouldn't rule last minute Branthwaite can cover at left back. I would, Glenn. I don't think United have got the money. I keep saying it. We ain't got the money to buy Kadoglu. We're definitely not going to have the money to buy Branthwaite. Thanks for the super chat, mate. But I do think that is where United are at with the defensive department at the moment. I think they're happy. A loan cover at left back, and we're done. That is it. But I think loan will come after Manuel Ugarte. Like we said, Fabrizio Romano saying he's pushing the move, and Manchester United will go for him. We're now hearing as well, Romano has come out and said that Yusuf Fofana only wants AC Milan. So I think even after Sky, like Romano completely binning Sky off with this tweet when he said it, in that he has made it clear for Fofana, he's going to wait for Milan and wait for Milan. He wants to play for AC Milan. It's as simple as that. There have been approaches, but he wants to go to Italy. So Fofana is off the list. No more Fofana talk. Cue the clip when I put another story up about United going back in for Fofana in 2 days. You just don't know with his transfer window is what I'm saying there. Anything is possible, as we've said all along, but I just look at that and go, if he is, then United need to move away from that. It's Zanderberger and Ugarte, I think. We're narrowing it down at least. With less than 2 weeks now to go until the window shuts, I think knowing that there's two midfielders we're going for, and then maybe another loan for a left-back like we just discussed, I think we know where we're at, and I think United are comfortable in the environment that they're in right now. So, happy with that. I think that's a good window. I do. If Sancho goes, though, Manchester United will definitely move for another forward, and that's the interesting one out of all of this. We talked Scott McTominay at the top of the show, and now we're looking at possibly bringing in Zanderberger and Ugarte. If Sancho goes, I'm going to update you on Sancho in a minute. So I'm going to get to your chat on Fofana leaving and whether or not there is any other midfielders you would go for now that we might have spoken about. Connor Cox with a super chat. Thank you, mate. How would you feel about Robinson from Fulham? I was thinking about him for my fantasy football team actually last night, mate. Funnily enough, Connor, he was there. He was an option for me at fullback. You'd have to buy again, wouldn't you? Actually, to be honest, Connor, I don't know what the contract situation is with Robinson from Fulham. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain how many years he's got left. I don't think Fulham would sell him, personally. And I think United want to bring in someone else next summer. I think they've done the big spending. I don't think we're going to get any big more purchases apart from midfield. Possibly attack if we sell Sancho, like I said. But I think United are done in defence. I think they've got everything they need right now. And I think they will look to spend big next summer. That's what it'll be, I feel. Next summer, we'll have to watch out for that one. He's not fit to lace Cobby's boots anyway. Is that Fofana? Probably yes. Fabrizio said Fofana wants Milan. We need to move on, says RD United TV. I think I just said that. Yes, you're right, mate. I feel Amrabat is coming back. He is even still on the official Manchester United page. I know, Nick. He has been taken out. His shirt number's been taken and everything now by De Ligt. So I think we can finally start putting that to bed. I think if Sancho go to PSG, we get Tony for sure, says Kieran. We talked this morning on the show about a sneaky little loan with obligation to buy offer to Brentford for Ivan Toney. Would that work for you guys? Jude says Brentford is Mount level now. S8 next summer, we'll gradually ease Bruno out. Bruno's going nowhere, mate. He's just signed a new deal. That's definitely not happening. AC United, UGARTE is what we need for Ten Hag style, and Berger is perfect as first phase player when Ten Hag gets sacked in December. Nice one. What else have we got in here? Adam, are you doing a fancy football league? Yes, there is a post out on the page. If you guys scroll across to, after the show, of course, scroll across to the community section. There is a post. I will start putting out the link. I mean, mods, if you can copy and paste and put information in for the Fantasy League into the chat as well for people. We are doing a Fantasy Football League. Dream Team is in. It's on the community post with the links and codes and everything anyway, guys. So if you want to be involved in the FUTV Fantasy Football League, that is now live. I should have added it to the description. I've not done it to the description yet. But it is on the community post on the FUTV YouTube page, guys. So all the information there if you want to come along and join the league and see if you do know football. I think I schooled everybody. Big shout out to the kit man as well. The winner of the European Championships Fantasy Football League we did has just received his Bayern Munich away shirt as well. Harley, who won the prize there, has got that shirt. So that's a big shout out to Kitman for that. Link in the description for all your upcoming football shirts for the season, guys. Use the code FUTV as well. All the information on our sponsors and other deals we've got going on are in the description, guys, as well, including your chance to win a signed Kobe Mainu shirt as well in football prizes. Top link in the description. Get onto that as well, guys. It's imperative that we get goal-scoring striker Ivan Toney, then we will go places, Adam. We said before in terms of United having two young strikers, we need that experienced striker for them to learn off, I think, and that's important. I think that is important. And I think we've got the right setup right now for them. An experienced striker to come in alongside them would be crucial, I think. I think that is where United need to be going now. Why would you bring in another young striker when you've got Wheatley coming through? You've already got two young strikers there already. Just add that little cherry on top, which is an Ivan Toney. And Manchester United seriously are going places, I feel, this season. I hope Bayende or Vitek gets more playing time this season. We need competition in the goalkeeper area. And Anna makes too many mistakes. I don't think they will. I honestly don't think that either of them will get game time with Ten Hag. I don't think he's the resting goalkeeper type of manager. I don't. I think he is just going to keep playing them. He's going to keep playing Anana. Vitek, I think, is worth money, by the way. And United could easily sell Bayende. I mean, Vitek is a good goalkeeper. Watched him a couple of seasons ago in the academy team. in a couple of games. He had a good pre-season as well. Bayndare obviously missed out on pre-season. It's like we've seen him, once in a United shirt in his whole time. It was a waste of time signing. It really was. And United would have just done better. Look, we've got a Heaton there signed up to a new contract for Manchester United. Vitek needs to be sold, or Bayndare needs to be sold. Heaton is the perfect replacement goalkeeper because he's not bothered about playing. Vitek and Bayndare, one of the two needs to be sold. And maybe there's a chance there for United this summer to actually sell them players and make a bit more money. Use your head, be sensible, I think is the word with United right now. It'd be interesting if Ineos do approach any of that. Like we said before, like the recruitment meeting that was going ahead on Monday, I'm sure discussions would have been made regarding all players that could leave Manchester United and we could make money off. One of them actually was Harry Maguire, but there's a story come out again today, and it's Harry Maguire reiterating his stance on where he is right now. He wants to stay and fight for his place in Manchester United's starting lineup. Most Man United fans would have Harry Maguire as 5th choice right now, and he wants to stay and fight. A lot of fans would prefer Evans ahead of him. When Euro comes back, he is 4th/5th choice. I think he's banking on injuries and getting his chance there, which, from Harry Maguire's side, you have to say he's got an argument, because we are all really worried about injuries right now. But in terms of a player that Manchester United can sell, I think we're just going to have to forget about Maguire bringing any more money into Manchester United. He has made it clear he wants to stay at Manchester United, fight for his place, and that means that Harry Maguire will still be at Manchester United come next summer, and he will be entering that phase if United want to trigger that 1-year extension that Wan-Bissaka was in, where the compensation needs paying off. Wan-Bissaka got 5 million. I wonder what Maguire's would be, depending on how much we bleed in sell him for, if we do sell him. But I look at it and go, 1 year left. They have to extend his contract and try and get at least a little bit of money out of him, but it won't be a lot. But no, as far as this summer's concerned, I think Harry Maguire, again, I've put it to bed, guys. He ain't leaving. Before I touch on Jadon Sancho, just wanted to go over everything that's going on with United for anyone who is just joining us. Over 1,600 people in the room right now. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Creeping up to 600 likes. Let's see if we can get to around about 700 live likes, guys. So while we're actually live, let's see if we can get that up to 700, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Napoli sporting director Giovanni Manna is in the country, supposedly discussing Scott McTominay. Now, we talked earlier on, Damasio said that Scott McTominay loan offer from Napoli was rejected outright by United. Romano has said that it is impossible. United have made it clear it's impossible that Scott McTominay leaves on loan. Someone is going to have to pump up the money to get Scott out of Manchester United. Simple as. But Napoli are in town, possibly discussing Osimhen and Lukaku plus money with Chelsea. With money in the bank, does that mean that they can come back in for Scott McTominay? Does that then prompt Fulham into action or any of the other 6 clubs that are offering for Scott McTominay right now? Interesting how that develops. Manchester United open to bringing in a loan or free agent option at left back because of the Luke Shaw situation. Let's forget about Luke Shaw. United will be looking for another loan left back this summer. So get your guesses in as to where and who that might actually be. Marcos Alonso has been discussed as a free agent, but United would prefer to do the loan with 1 year's worth of wages to pay rather than putting a player on a contract that you're not going to use that much. Normally 2 or 3 years. Why would you put it on 2 or 3 years of paying a wage of a player who isn't going to contribute a lot when you could do a loan for 1? That's United's stance. So watch out, possibly looking back into Reguilon. That's all I would say with that one. I mean, we've got to keep our eye on that, definitely. And obviously, as well, the other news regarding the midfield, which is Fofana wanting AC Milan. By the way, Fabrizio Romano has also said that De Jong is a no-go. No contact has been made. No offer is on the table from United. The story regarding United having an offer turned down for Frenkie De Jong is not true, according to what Romano has said anyway. But we always sort of thought that was the case anyway. We've barely discussed Frenkie De Jong because nobody really wants to accept that this actually could be happening again after what happened 2 years ago, I feel, with anything. But that's the midfield area covered. UGARTE is pushing and pushing hard. It is definitely no deal with Sancho and UGARTE combined. It's separate deals completely. And as far as UGARTE is concerned, he wants United, only wants United, and Mendes is working overtime to make that happen, as we discussed yesterday. Waiting on more updates from that side of things now going forward. So let's look at it when it comes about. I think we will get more information as it comes. Phil with the super chat says, Osimhen to United, out of the question, too much. His buyout is 100 million euros. United don't have that money. The only reason that Chelsea are in for him is because of the homegrown players they're selling, and Napoli have agreed to take Lukaku as a Part X. So Chelsea can definitely afford Osimhen, United can't. But it does open up the avenue for Scott and McTominay funds to be available for Napoli. No De Jong, no Fofana. 2 more off the list. It looks like it is UGARTE and Zanderberger. They're the midfields that Manchester United have pretty much agreements in place with player-wise. Both want to come to United. But which way we go depends on who we sell. Scott McTominay, Victor Lindelof, Pellistri and Hannibal. By the way, Hannibal, we did say it the other day, it has been confirmed that Hannibal has put in a transfer request. So he is definitely going. He knows he's got no place in this Man United side. And the transfer request is in for him. Romano updated us on Jadon Sancho as well. Romano's word on Jadon Sancho, backing up what we were talking about this morning, about terms agreed between Sancho and PSG. Manchester United are aware of the possibility of Sancho to leave and contact between his agent and PSG, but no official bid yet. So, Sancho and PSG are in agreement. He's happy with the move. PSG are happy with Jadon Sancho. They've offered him ridiculous wages, which is probably why he's looking at that, like we said this morning. But we are still waiting on an official bid from PSG, and conversations continue. We're waiting for the next big party, the next big account to come out and put themselves behind a bid for Jadon Sancho. Because I feel like it is coming. It is around the corner. United reportedly wanted 50 million. That's what it was this morning. I think start high, maybe bring it down. I think that's the only way I could see any reason for United to actually start the bidding off at 50 million, because they want 40. No one in the right mind would pay 50 for Jadon Sancho, would they? Surely not. But PSG do look like the only option, so United have to tread carefully. If they definitely want Jadon Sancho out of the football club, then they have to move. It's a little bit of an eggshell walk, isn't it, for United? Don't upset them too much. Try and negotiate, importantly, the deal with UGARTE. Get that signed off and done as quickly as possible. And then throw everything you've got into selling Jadon Sancho, possibly bringing in another forward for Manchester United. Like we said this morning, we could have 2 midfielders, a forward, and now even more, a loaned left-back coming in yet before this window shuts, with 5 players going the opposite way. Pretty crazy, isn't it? It is, but that is Manchester United's transfer window right now. Let's get into some more of your comments, guys. What are you saying? Let's see. I won't miss Hannibal. He's another Tai Chong who wasn't up for it. He needs to go for his own career. Hopefully now, though, we can actually get some decent money for these players with Ineos in charge. Like, great deal for Camberwell with only having 1 year left on his deal. To get near 10 million for him. That was good business. Anything sort of in that bracket for Hannibal, I think is great business for Manchester United. Effectively, you could get 30 million for Lindelof, Hannibal and Pellistri, I feel. I think that's reasonable. You get together 25 for Scott, 55 million, 44 Sancho. Even if it was 35, you're still looking upwards of like 80 million. Being recruited in these last few weeks of the window. Added to what the 18 and 27 and 10 for Camberwell, 50, United would have made in one somewhat well over 100 million in sales. So good business by United. And if it helps us strengthen the squad as well now, then even better. And that's what's important, I feel. I think we find common ground for around 40 million for both players, whether it's a swap or funds being sent to either club to help the accounting sides on both. Yep, Kyle, it will be funds. There's no swap even in the equation. It is 2 separate deals, as everyone keeps talking. But you're right, in terms of funds for accounts, that does work for both, mate. Obviously balancing, and I think it will be in instalments again. I mean, this is why United's deals are a little bit more complex, because we haven't had a lot of money to play with this summer transfer window, but still, we are making deals happen still, and that's because of the structuring and the instalments that we're actually paying out for these players. So it is good, and it is definitely a positive for Manchester United that we've got Ineos in to negotiate, even when it looks like we've got no money. Let's just see now. Ben says, I reckon we sell Sancho to PSG, 50 million funds, another mid and fullback. I don't think United would, unless we could get a Kadoglu and knew that this was a guaranteed left back for the future. United won't spend any money on a left back. I don't think they would. But I do think if we sold Sancho, we'd get another forward. We're selling McTominay. I think we've got a price already set up for UGARTE. McTominay will help us, I think, get Zandenberger and UGARTE over the line. The other sales from Hannibal, Lindelof and Palestre will just make up the difference, I feel, for the Bucks in balancing these deals out. If Sancho goes, then I could see United going fully in for Tony. Osimhen out, giving Lukaku and value not 100 more. Not 100 more. I'm not sure what you're on about there, Phil, but cheers for the super chat. Didn't quite make sense. I just see now. What's we got here? Get for next summer. UGARTE/Fofana would make the whole lot of sense. Fofana, by the way, Jeffrey, is out. United won't be getting him. He wants to go to Milan. Romano has said that before, so we can stop talking about. We can stop talking about Fofana now. I think that's pretty much done, dead in the water. That pretty much covers everything, guys. We are done for the midday anyway. That's the morning. The midday show's done. We'll probably have more. There's lots of news that comes out United in the afternoon, so stay tuned later on. 6:30 will be your next update show, everybody. Please give the video a like. Let's see if we can get that up to 700 while live. We had a target of 1,000 for the show in general, so that'll probably get there after the show is finished. Thank you again, everybody. Mods and members, everybody in the chat, your comments, bang on it again. Exciting times for Manchester United. Scott, Napoli, or wherever, he's definitely going. Manchester United in negotiations for UGARTE and Sancho. And a left-back will be coming in if the right loan option is there for Manchester United. That is your United news updated midday on the 14th of August, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you all later on at 6:30. Have a fantastic afternoon, everybody. Up the Reds.